We're going to go ahead and get started here with the Ohio State. I'm going to ask Coach Day to give an opening remark, and then we'll open up the floor for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll bring a mic to you, and please state both your name and your media outlet when asking a question. Coach Day, can you give a general remark about today's game?
Yeah, I'm just very proud of the coaching staff, the players and the leaders of this team for playing the way we did, especially in the second half and winning this game. We were shorthanded, and there were some guys who weren't here today, and for us to respond the way we did at halftime and then come out and play in the second half says a lot about the character of this team to win this game. That Utah team is a very, very good team. They're well coached, very good players, tremendous amount of respect for them. They played their tails off tonight in an unbelievable game, but couldn't be proud of our guys. For our seniors, some of the guys who played in this game, I can't say enough about what they've left for a legacy behind, especially winning this game the way we did. And then for our younger guys, a couple of them sitting right here, the momentum now that we have moving forward is tremendous. We had a lot of work to do in the offseason, but we found out a little bit about our team in the second half here.
Okay, we'll take our first question here from the front in the black.
Ryan, I know you said, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch, I know you said that you were telling Jackson don't try to do too much, but he
didn't listen.
He kind of did. Did you see that he did rise to the occasion in terms of the other guys being gone, and did feel like he needed to to do that?
I think Jackson's done what he's done all year, and that's just play within himself. But certainly, some of the plays he made tonight was tremendous. We leaned on him a lot. At one point, I asked him, are you tired? On the play there where Clark caught him, and he looked at me like, what are you asking me for? Like, are you crazy? He went right back out there and played one of the best games probably in the history of the Rose Bowl. But I also thought CJ and he just have a great connection. They have a great feel, and I think there's a lot of trust there that's been built over the year. And I think it happened a little bit, in that Nebraska game. Who knows? You have to ask them. Maybe it happened last year. I don't know. But they read each other really well, and they got a special connection. I mean, the throw on the touchdown pass, the inside slot fade, the throw and the catch there is probably as good as I've ever seen in a big-time spot.
Jackson, how about you? Did you feel like you had to fill in the blanks, so to speak, with Chris being gone and Garrett?
Honestly, I just, trust the process, trust coach is going to put me in the right opportunity, that CJ is going to put me in the right opportunity, and just, taking advantage of every opportunity that I get. I mean, that's the only thing I can do, really, and, it worked out, so.
Our next question is from Bill up front.
Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch. For Ryan, you guys came in depleted. You were coming off the loss. You get down 14-0. Are you worried at that point that this could be not just not a good game, a loss, but what it means for the offseason, and how important was it to respond the way you did?
I think it's huge. I worried, I don't know, but I knew that what an unbelievable opportunity. Like you said, down a bunch of guys, down some numbers in this spot. I kind of took a step back. I mean, obviously I was driving hard, but I also at halftime, there was a bunch of guys in that locker room that stepped up in a big way. And we talked about how, in that 2019 Big Ten championship game against Wisconsin, a bunch of guys did that. That same thing happened at halftime of this game. And when you have that type of leadership from within, that's when you can do whatever you want. And I think as we springboard into this offseason, that's the part that we're really going to go back upon in this game, is the leadership that drove us in the second half, that we weren't going to be denied. And two of them are sitting right here. And if we want to get to where we want to be next year, we certainly have it's a long way away from now, but I'm already thinking about that first game, and what that means is the leadership from these two guys has got to really springboard, especially the way they played in the second half of this game, or really the entire game, is really going to build some momentum.
And for CJ, that word springboard, I mean, you were playing today with Jackson, but also new receivers. Marvin catches 3 touchdown passes. Could you kind of describe the chemistry you have with him, how important he was to this game, and what this game can mean for next year?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to give all glory to God. And then, we built that connection probably all the way back in we came in as freshmen together, came in early. We were throwing at the Woody like our first day. And then scout team last year was like we really built it. But this doesn't surprise me at all. Like when I heard the numbers, I didn't really notice because he does this all the time. So I'm just blessed to be around guys like this. Me or him doesn't have a good game without our linemen. So our O-line played their butts off. I don't think I got sacked once. Our running backs ran the ball well. Our tight ends played very well. And then, I mean, the young guys, Marvin and Julian play really well as well. So, I mean, when you put all those things together, I mean, I feel like, we can just keep going.
And your connection with Marvin, the 3 touchdown passes. First of all, 4th and 1, you go for the pass to him. I mean, just the connection you have with Marvin.
Yeah, I call Marv Route Man Marv. I mean, his routes are like amazing. I mean, especially against a good corner like number 8. I know number 2, he had a decent game as well, filling in that spot. I mean, respected their defense, but I think, when my guys are rolling, I think we're pretty much unstoppable. But we got to go out there and prove that. You know what I'm saying? So Marv had a great game. He showed y'all a little glimpse, but he has way more in his bag. Julian, I know he popped his little shoulder out, but he has way more in his bag as well. So I know that they'll hit their peak next year.
So you have a question up here in the front from Nick.
Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. Congratulations to all of you. My question is for CJ and Jackson. Just what did you guys learn throughout your season that prepared you for that second half for you guys to gut it out and be able to get that win? What are some of the intangibles that you guys learned along the way?
Yeah, I'll start. Every game, you always have ups and downs. We opened out the season like that. Took a hard loss in that second game, and then these are all learning experiences. And then we lose again, and we have a tough game with Nebraska. These are all learning experience. So I think when you're young, this is our first year starting. So when you have games like that under your belt, you know how to kind of finish those games off in a sense. You know not to panic, how to stay calm, and I think that's what we did. So I'm really proud of my guys for staying calm and not really panicking, not pointing fingers or anything like that. We all kind of stay even keeled and make sure that we was gonna win this game.
Yeah, our team's built on fighting, so it doesn't matter if we're up, down. We were down in the first half, but we just had to stay level-headed and keep fighting. So.
Okay, we have another question on the back, and then we're going to go in the front.
Question for Coach Day, Brendan Gulick, Buckeyes Now on Sports Illustrated. Coach, I know we're talking a lot of offense, and for good reason, but the defense in the second half looked like an entirely different unit than what you had in the first 30 minutes, particularly Tommy Eichenberg. Can you tell us what you were impressed about the way he played tonight?
Well, like you said, I thought in the second half they made up their mind on defense that they were going to play different. It happened in the locker room. I heard it, and I got out of the way. And then they played with a different toughness, and we talked about playing fast and violent. And I thought they played that way in the second half. And when you make up your mind you're going to do something like that, then you can impose your will. And I felt like that's what happened. But it's a team game, and you have to believe the guy next to you is going to do their job. If you do your job, and you count on 11 guys to do it, I think we did that in the second half. I thought Tommy played really well. He had a chip on his shoulder. I thought Cade Stover, stepping in at linebacker, had a chip on his shoulder, and then the D-line at one point really imposed their will. And I think if we can start becoming more consistent in that area and having that mentality and hopefully building into the off season here, then we got a chance to have a really good defense next year. But those are the things that we're really going to have to hammer home, over the next few months into spring ball and in the preseason.
Question for Jackson and for CJ. Guys, maybe not even just you personally, but as a team, how difficult is it to keep your focus for several weeks when you didn't play a game for over a month, and there's all this hype and all this anticipation about a game that for a while probably seems a long way off, and then once it gets here and you've got all the pomp and circumstance around the game, is it difficult to prep for a game like this and to stay focused, let alone perform like you did?
I think what motivated us, wasn't just this game, but the previous game. So I know that was my motivation, just getting that bad taste out of our team's mouth and ending the season the right way, sending the seniors out the right way. And that was probably the most important thing for me. So I'm super blessed. And then on top of that, this is the Rose Bowl, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is where legendary games are being played. So if you ain't motivated to play it, I probably think I'll question your love of the game. You know what I mean? So every game that I go out there, I try to do my best, make sure I prepare the right way and do the right things. Because you never know what can happen in the game. So my job is to lead the team, lead our offense, and then I gotta watch everything. I gotta do everything that I need to do to make sure I lead the offense on the field.
We have time for 2 more questions. We'll take one from up front here.
Ryan, I know your mantra is be tough and be aggressive. I don't know what your rushing numbers were, but is this a game where it didn't go the way maybe you thought it would, but it went the way it had to go? In other words, you know, the attacking pound it wasn't there, but the passing game sure was.
Yeah, I thought, you know, early on, you know, we really wanted to mix it up. And so I guess, you know, we had just over, you know, 100 and something yards rushing. And then we went down a couple scores. You know, we hit on some big passes. Like, I think there was 3 series in a row where we had like 2 or 3 plays that just kind of kept going. And then we just got into a rhythm throwing the ball. I thought we did have a good mix of run and pass. Some of the stuff that will show up on the stat sheet as passes are run pass options, you know, whether they're bubbles or you know throws down the field, and I thought CJ did an excellent job of executing in those spots. So yeah, we were a little pass heavy here, but I did think that we played with more physicality up front. I thought that the offensive line handled their front very well. They have a good front. I thought we blocked and ran a little harder than maybe in the last couple games, and so that was a big emphasis coming in. But we're always looking for a great balance.
And can you you've touched on this, the halftime. Who said what? What was said that got things going here?
You know, I'll kind of leave that for the locker room. You know, there was some things that I probably can't repeat, and that's okay. That's the way football goes. But that's the toughness and that's the edge that we have to play this game with all the time. It's a physical game that has to be played fast and violent, and proud of our guys for playing that way in the second half.
Our last question will be from up front here.
And Jackson, I believe that you had the most receiving yards of anybody ever in a bowl game. What does that mean to you?
What does it mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a blessing. I got to give all thanks to God. You know, without him, nothing's possible. Got to give thanks, you know, to Coach and CJ, of course, for giving me the opportunities. And, you know, the O-line, I mean, it's, you know, it's not just me. I couldn't have done it without them. You know, I just try to take in every moment, every time the ball's in the air. And, you know, I felt like I did that today. So, you know, it's a blessing.
And Ryan, 2 quickies. How's Lathan? It looked like a bad injury. Lathan Ransom.
Yeah. You know, I don't know exactly what happened, but it was similar to Josh Proctor, you know, and just standing over him, you know, it just shows you what a tough game this is. And so prayers go out to Lathan and his family, and him hopefully gets a quick recovery in this area.
And it was 2 times on 4th and 1 you went for the pass?
Well, you know, honestly, CJ at one point said, you know, the play that we called on 4th down, he liked it early on. I was a little concerned it was loud. I'm not sure what they were going to go into, but, you know, he was looking for his guy over here, and he liked that call early on. And so, you know, really what it is making sure guys feel comfortable with the calls. And he was asking for it, and I think it was 4th and 3, and my heart was in my throat. It was, I think we were on the 40-something yard line, but I put my faith in these 2 guys, and they delivered, and that's what it's all about.
Okay, that wraps us up. Thank you, CJ Jackson and Coach Day.